Soccer situation.
Not like that.
Twigs! Go grab Mr. Twigs and show him to me. Folks, with Alex out of the seat, I'm going to say welcome to episode 70 of Soccer Situations. Alex is wrangling cats. I'm surviving fire. Oh, Mr. Twigs, I love you, buddy. I miss that fucking cat
happy.
so much, dude. Yeah, it's okay. I appreciate that
happy.
cameo.
He'll probably
Mr.
be
Twigs,
up here in a minute. He'll calm
Mr.
down.
Twigs, I love you, buddy. Yeah, Alex, cat wrangling. I'm fire dodging, and we're surviving.
We're making it work.
Yeah. This episode on the pod, we should note this is a take two episode, as we've done once or twice in the past. Had a little technical difficulty yesterday, was it?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, and had a false start. Recorded about 20 minutes of me ranting about the LA fires and realized that all of my gear had died.
Yeah, we didn't get any of it.
Yeah, sorry about that again, Alex. So we're back here. Good episode. We're gonna have a short, punchy one this week. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the experience here in LA, the fires for the past week, and where things are at now. Alex is gonna come in hot, fresh off the North London Derby. That was the upside of pushing the episode back a day. We got the Derby in there for Alex.
Attitude for this guy.
Yeah, Alex is gonna have a much better attitude. Already noticeably better attitude.
It's true.
Yeah. And then we'll look back just one day to Nottingham Forest hosting Liverpool. Just those two matches really summarize the title race these days. So I think we're good just punching it right there. Right, Alex?
Right. It seems like that's it. That covers the top three, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Title race.
So where to begin? The past week has been chaos.
Yeah.
If people are upset about the intermittent nature of the podcast, go F yourselves. No.
Natural disasters.
Folks, I would hope you're understanding the podcast. I think we're still doing it weekly, but the release day has been unpredictable.
Yeah.
And, if you want to know when an episode's coming out, follow us on the socials, Instagram.com/Soccer Situations Podcast. We will post about upcoming episodes and post when episodes drop.
Yeah.
What else? Do we have other social media? TikTok is still up for another week.
TikTok's up for 5 more days, I think.
Trump's going to save it. Don't worry.
I think so, too. That's my bet, is Trump's coming in. Be the hero.
What's funny is TikTok is set to be banned on the 19th, and he is inaugurated on the 20th. So I wonder if we'll have one day without TikTok.
Yeah, and he can come in triumphantly and bring it back.
Yeah. Alex, yeah, I kind of don't know where to begin with. I was so fired up on my LA rant yesterday.
Yeah, with the fires.
It's funny after full disclosure, we'll do a behind the curtain peek. When we realized the recording was troubled, I refused to start over again. I was like, I can't talk about all this fire stuff again. I just did everything, and I'm out of energy now. And I kind of still feel that way a little bit.
It's a lot to talk about. I mean,
it's very, very much very similar to post-COVID PTSD. To the point where, like, sometimes now when you're streaming or watching a TV show, and if it's like a COVID episode where the episode is about COVID, you're like, I don't want to watch COVID stuff right now.
Like, I don't even want to think about that right now.
A little bit of similar vibes here, yeah. But it was a stressful week. I'll just do a quick recap. How about that?
Yeah.
Tuesday, the day of the breakout, I was right at the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains, honestly, in the heart of Santa Monica, interviewing for a job promotion. Promotion happened. Congratulations, me.
Nice. Good
On the
work.
way out of the interview, I was talking to Mom, and she asked me about the fires, and that was the first I heard of them, actually.
Before you had
even
even
that
really
close
known.
to it, there was no real sign of it yet.
Well, I mean, wildfires aren't exactly rare in that area.
No, definitely not. And yeah, exactly, coming from Maggie, I was like, Maggie, I'm sure there's like some fires up in the hills somewhere. That's fine. It's not a big deal. And it wasn't at that time, but it was about to be. It's really funny, actually. I was thinking about zombie movies.
Yeah.
there's always like a period in a zombie movie where the public is during the very, very beginning of the outbreak is starting to see signs, but it's really frustrating because no one is looking for zombie signs. So when characters are just like, huh, that's weird, and go about their day, it's like, pay attention. You can cut it off the zombie outbreak. I was thinking about on the way home from that job interview on Wilshire Boulevard, I remember seeing like 10 ambulances all lined up along the boulevard on my way home. Just a row of ambulances, and me thinking like, huh, that's weird. And that was the end of that. I didn't give that another thought. Little did I know, things for first responders were about to get very, very serious.
Yeah, they were probably already on the highest level alert they could be, I'm sure.
At that point, yeah. I think they knew because those winds were kicking up at that time. So got home to gale force winds all night for about 48 hours, honestly.
Yeah.
It really added a ton. Dude, it added so much to the stress of the situation. Seeing the news that the fires were spreading like crazy, but then you had the very visceral, real reminder, constant, like the wind howling like a banshee, and like you see stuff just flying, trees coming down on the street, branches flying, all kinds of just physical reminders that like the wind was in, and like that fire was in that wind, and like that shit is gonna be spreading. And then Wednesday morning I woke up to I'll try and insert some photos here, just what looked like a proper apocalypse, looking in the direction of the fire, just pitch black skies, blue skies the other direction.
Yeah, paradise one way, end of the world the other way.
Yeah, exactly that. Air quality index on my little app was like off the charts. It was basically
needle's broken.
Not only stay inside, run every purifier you can, and try not to get. Good luck not getting cancer today. Basically,
wear
what it said.
Wear an N95 inside, maybe a couple of them.
Yeah, seal up the house. There was literally the recommendation to seal up the house, which James actually asked me to do at one point, and I was about to, but then I couldn't find supplies, and then the air quality was actually better the next day, so dodged that bullet, having to literally seal up the house. But we got through it. Luckily, the winds that were predicted to return today and yesterday did not return. So
did you guys get anything really?
No, it's good. It's still very still outside. No winds at all. So once the winds died and the aircraft was able to come in and do hot water drops or cold water drops on hot fires, giving us the best LA fire content.
Yeah, those are the positive things we can look back on, is the cool ass air footage.
Some of the most insane pilot footage I've ever seen of like DC-10, like commercial airliners just skimming the ground, dropping that stuff.
I mean, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. Like, I thought fighter pilots, like in like fighter jets, were impressive.
Right.
That shit. Watching a commercial airliner swoop through the Palisades Mountains like that, dropping water. Accurately dropping water.
Yeah. And some of the helicopter guys too, the way that they're just like dipping and diving, crazy maneuvers, dude.
It doesn't look like it's like should move those directions the way it's like the helicopters move.
No, they don't.
They'll like come in, like almost drift sideways across the fire and drop on them.
No, it's like straight up Tom Cruise Mission Impossible helicopter piloting. That's the only time you see helicopters do that stuff is in a Mission Impossible movie until now.
I hope those guys, as much as that is obviously the most stressful thing ever, I hope they're having fun.
Yeah.
I hope they're at least enjoying pushing the limits a bit.
I have started following a couple Instagram accounts that are the pilots' private accounts, and they're definitely taking pride in like they're fuck yeah in it up there. I don't know if I'd say they're having fun because it's still a pretty serious situation, but stressful. In hindsight, they're definitely going to be like, yeah, look at this. I've also seen just as many Instagram posts from women all over the city saying every single firefighter in LA is getting a blowjob from me. So, these guys got things to look forward to.
They're, they got some positives coming their way. They're risking their lives for everybody.
Yeah, no, LAFD is definitely hero worship zone central right now in town. I'm actually staying after work tomorrow to brew coffee for them, for the Palisades firefighters. We're awesome. Sending 15 gallons of coffee up to them tomorrow afternoon, so that's cool.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
I love to see everybody just like chipping in whatever they can.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other bright side of this whole mess is me being new here. Already love LA, but the sense of community that this has fostered. All of the emergency spots, the evac shelters, supply drops, they're overwhelmed with both donations and volunteers, turning away both volunteers and donations because so much has come forth. And that's really awesome, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen firefighters from all over the world coming into town to help out with this.
Right?
It's impressive. I even saw LA has 900 or 1,000 incarcerated people working on the fires as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I read a few articles about that, actually, because I heard that was happening. And I was like, ooh, that strikes me as... Daddy does not like fucking for-profit prison programs. And
I know, that's what I thought, too.
Yeah. And it's controversial, but I like it. I hope that they reduce or wipe sentences because an article I read said that they were just making a small hourly wage, like $6 to $8 an hour or something.
Yeah,
but
I think the one I saw today was like $10 an hour, basically.
Yeah.
And they have some training, but...
Yeah. They're like, it sucks, it's dangerous, but it's better than being in prison, basically.
Honestly, yeah, it's like still a taste of the world, even though, which is sad. Like you said, hopefully they get something out of this because they deserve something.
Yeah,
Even if
I think
they
more
are choosing that over prison, they still deserve something for
no,
moving.
Definitely. If they've contributed to that fighting that fire, dude, so they deserve so much. Honestly,
yeah, they saved
it's a
people's
hellscape
lives,
out there.
They've saved people's homes. They've saved animals. Like, yeah, they deserve reduced sentences at the least, I would say.
And otherwise, LA is still the best. It's so beautiful out today.
That's the crazy thing is the city is so big that like the other half of the city is like beautiful and still paradise.
Yeah, actually, like most of it is. It's really, it's funny. It's impossible to understand the geography and scale of LA unless you've spent time here. I think I said that yesterday on the pod. I promised I wasn't going to repeat myself, but it's true. If you haven't been here, you don't really know the scope of the city and how it's laid out and how these fires can be so epic and massive and still sequestered from other parts of the city. It's interesting
still have
stuff.
whole parts of the city that don't even, like if you're there, you wouldn't even know they're happening.
Right. But it's the best. People online talking shit about LA and dunking on it are idiots. Sorry,
what can you do about natural disasters and like what are they blaming you guys for living in like, climate change is affecting you? That's not anyone in LA's fault, really.
The only negative stuff I've seen has been like, oh, rich vapid people in LA, who cares that they lost their homes, you know? And that is such a
dickhead take.
It is the most dickhead take. It's just, I mean, that's some ignorant shit for people that have never been here, you know?
Yeah.
When people think they know like what a Los Angeles person is and they're like that, it always reminds me of when Europeans think they know like what an American is. And it's like, no, like you fucking tiny little Belgian idiot. Like you have no concept of how big America is. We have all the different kinds of people. Like we have 100 different worlds within our country.
We are all of Europe in one. Like
exactly.
We are everything in one.
You think you know what an American is, but yeah. And LA is on a smaller scale the same thing. People in America think they know what it is, but it's literally everything. Every neighborhood is dramatically different from the next. Every kind of person lives here.
Hollywood is LA, and it's like Hollywood is a very small part of LA. Like obviously like financially and everything is a major part of it, but as a people and as a group, that's not the major percentage of people in LA.
No, teeny tiny. This is a massively diverse city, both, economically,
culturally.
Yeah.
It's
LA is literally everything. That's really the simplest way to say it, you know?
Yeah, it's a worldly city. It has cultures from all over the place, communities, everybody of different walks of life.
Right. Alex, the North London Derby swooped in today and dropped some cold water on a Arsenal fire. Right?
True,
they really just snuffed out that crisis in no time today.
Yeah, things look so much rosier all of a sudden.
One result, one good performance, more points dropped from Liverpool, and now things are looking pretty good, eh?
Yeah, 4 points behind Liverpool. You guys still have a game in hand, obviously, but
Of course.
things are looking better. You guys didn't look like the invincible team you seemed like at the beginning of the season.
No.
I mean, Arsenal
stumbling.
fans, I could rant all day about the build up to this game in the last few weeks and the United result, and everything I see from Arsenal fans has just been pissing me off. And I'm just like, you guys are so ungrateful. You're such crybabies. AFTV, I don't know which one of those schmucks it was, but gave Havertz a 0 for his match score against United. Go fuck yourself and your ego, bro. Like, did you watch the match? You guys are like, you're from there. You go to the games. You pretend you're these football experts, and you know nothing about the game.
Right.
I've watched Kai Havertz. Like, yeah, he had a couple of chances missed. He also held the ball up. He was the only one holding the ball up and bringing in play. He had some beautiful touches, some great play coming back, defensive headers. Like, to give him a 0 just out of pettiness because you're salty that he didn't score a goal against United is just so childish.
Insane. That was a frustrating game. The abuse that Havertz, and we could go on to the abuse his wife took as well. His exceptionally beautiful footballer wife, by the way.
Yeah, what a good-looking couple that is.
Yeah, very good looking. A lot of times I don't dig football or the wags. I think footballers have trash taste in both clothes and partners sometimes. Oh, that's too mean. But yeah, derail a serious conversation with how hot she is. But she took monstrous abuse. Him taking abuse is already absolutely idiotic for that game. And the fact that it would move on to her as well in the way that it did is bonkers, dude.
Yeah, Arsenal fans should be ashamed of themselves for that. And I know it's probably a small percentage of them that did that, but it's so ridiculous to think that we were sitting second in the table. We're still in competitions. We're missing star players all over the field.
Yeah.
We've had bad luck all the time. Like, so many times this season we've had bad luck. So, like, them jumping to conclusions and, like, freaking out like the world is ending and putting it all on Kai Havertz for some reason.
Yeah.
Doing exactly what they made fun of Chelsea fans for doing. But now they're doing the same thing to Kai.
Ridiculous.
Like, you guys were singing his name and laughing at Chelsea fans a month or two ago, and now you're gonna throw him under the bus and attack his wife on social media, like
insane stuff, dude.
And now I'm sure everyone today, all the news, when I pull up my phone after this and scroll through Instagram, it's gonna be nothing but positivity.
Right.
And it's just like, people are so reactionary. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I don't understand why they have to put it out there. I understand feeling the rage because sometimes you just feel irrational rage. You know?
I mean, yeah, I was furious after that United game. That was a horrible performance. We had it should have been an easy win with all the circumstances. It should have been an easy win. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes that happens.
Publicly directing all of that anger at a person is wild, though.
Yeah, it's an insane move. Insane behavior. Sorry, I kind of derailed that a bit from the positivity that is the North London Derby.
Yeah, let's talk about this game. We had a good one. I just watched highlights. I was working through it, sadly, but I caught up. My favorite part was the Gabriel goal. The first. I just like because he ran all the way around the back to the back post and then stooped in for that header.
He stooped in right on the line to head it back across.
Really snuck in and snuck in a header. It was a very funny header from a corner, I think. A memorable one.
No, it was the deepest possible cross, like from a back post.
Yeah, he ran all the way around the whole scene, but with two guys chasing him the whole time, like a cartoon, like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. Two defenders chasing him away around the whole pack, and then the way he had to stoop down to get his head on it and sneak it in the corner. It was fun.
And then of course he loves the celebration. He loves going nuts after a goal too.
Yeah, he's a passionate guy,
passionate Brazilian.
He's that. Ball popping off that hairline. I recently saw a compilation of Premier League footballers that had hair transplants done. I didn't know Gabriel was on that list. Yeah,
his is very it's well done, right?
He snuck it in under the radar, I think. Yeah, I had no idea.
He did. I hardly knew that it had happened. I forgot that it had happened, really. But yeah, he snuck that one in.
Yeah, just like the goal. Sick.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, my favorite moment was that Trossard. Did you see I sent it to you on Instagram. Trossard crossing up Pedro Porro been hurting
No,
him?
I didn't look. I forgot to look at that. Damn. I'll check it out. Yeah,
He does a little Cruyff turn and drops Pedro Porro, who then stays on the pitch hurt for the next 30 seconds, grabbing his groin, screaming
from a
he
dribble.
Ended up playing on, which maybe he was just doing it to save face a bit, but
yeah,
he Cruyff turned him and put him on the pitch and he was writhing in pain from his groin.
If you give someone a groin pull from a dribble, that is better than scoring a goal almost.
It was pretty classic. Trossard was feeling it today. He had a couple nutmegs and that Cruyff turn to put Pedro Porro down was
yeah, and of course
fun.
The game-winning goal
And the game winner.
Yeah,
the man.
Which also was kind of funny. I think he just caught the keeper off guard. What do you think? He took the shot pretty early. There was a pass on at the top of the box that I feel like the keeper was expecting.
The keeper was definitely. I had an eye on that, and the ball bounced a little bit on the keeper as well.
Yeah, that was unlucky. Bounced over his glove. I saw that. But you overall, can't win the lotto if you don't buy a ticket.
It's true. It's true.
What were you going to say? Overall?
No, overall it was a fun match. Overall,
was it?
Arsenal were dominant in the first half, but then, frustratingly, Spurs did what they do best, which is counterattack and score against the run of play.
Yeah, I saw that. Deflected goal. How annoying is that?
Yeah, pretty heavily deflected off Saliba through Partey's legs.
Yeah.
Not much Raya could do about that. I was pretty frustrated when that went in, because up until that point, we were completely dominant. They hadn't even, touched the ball, it felt like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were controlling the game heavily. So that was
that's
their
the problem.
First moment.
With highlights, you don't really get a sense of that.
Yeah, they actually, to be fair to them, they had, before that goal went in, they probably had two really good scoring chances. They came out of nothing again as well. They just get down and have a quick attack. But, yeah, they easily could have punished us in the beginning for being a little lackluster.
Yeah.
Defensively. But classic heated North London derby.
You love to see it. You've beaten them. You did the double over them now, right?
Yep. Yeah. I think that is 5 of the last 6 that we've won against them now.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember when there was a little tough run in the North London Derby when they were taking them? How
there was
awful
time
that was?
There where they were getting pretty cocky about the Derby wins. They were putting some together and it was not looking good.
Well, they're not going to be cocky now. As I glance at the table, see, Tottenham have lost 4 in their last 5 matches, the 5th one being a draw. So they've picked up 1 point from their last 5 matches.
Yeah, they're not doing so great right
now.
Big Ange is in trouble.
Yeah, they're sitting down in 13th, level on points with Crystal Palace, who are having a notably off season themselves.
Yeah, and could be a lot better off.
Hilariously, 1 point ahead of Manchester United, who do have a game in hand, to be fair, but funny. But just funny to look at that pack. Look at this 13 to 16th in the Premier League. Tottenham, Palace, Manchester United, and Everton.
Yeah, 3 of those teams, not long ago, it would be shocking to see them down in those areas.
Right?
At the table.
Right? Absolutely. I mean, Everton we can laugh at, but yeah, them and Palace, generally speaking, if you're talking reputation, stable mid-table clubs.
Top 10 teams, generally.
Yeah. Tottenham
fighting
and United,
for those Europa
stable.
League spots.
Tottenham and United, same for you, Tottenham United, just edging into the Europa League every now and then.
Yeah,
nice solid mid-table team.
Solid mid-table. Yeah, what do you think is going to happen with Big Ange? Is he in trouble?
I think he's starting to be in trouble. I think Eugene Levy has been so inconsistent with how he bins managers, right? I feel like he's been loyal, really loyal to some, and then Jose and Nuno. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said Daniel Levy.
What did I say?
You said Eugene. That's
I
the
did.
Actor.
I didn't even notice I said that. I was literally picturing the name Dan Levy when I said, but yeah, Eugene. Anyway, Eugene Levy also is.
I know, during that game a lot, I was kind of shocked. I didn't know Tottenham's trouble with injuries. Obviously, Arsenal have a list of their own injuries. But I was pretty annoyed that during the game, they kept bringing up Tottenham's trouble with injuries. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it, man. We're missing so many star players that would be starting this game. I don't want to hear that Tottenham are struggling with injuries.
Yeah.
Like, how about they just look at the fact that they're underperforming?
Exactly. It's like, well, guess what? You got to build a squad, Eugene Levy.
Also, Also, like, the big criticism of Ange is you got to learn to play differently.
Exactly.
If you don't have your star team, why are you going to the Emirates and trying to, like, play your game against them?
It's funny that them and Manchester City are going through the exact same thing.
It's true.
Both missing key defensive units and both refusing to adapt to that fact.
Yeah. And, like, just, like, making excuses for why they're not doing it. But it's weird.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable, though, for both of them. I love watching both those clubs struggle.
Yeah. you want to see them suffer. It's going great. Yeah. Loving that. Struggle. Speaking of struggle, let's talk about Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 1. First half of that match was a huge struggle for Liverpool.
Yeah, Forest dominant in the first half.
Yeah, Forest, we should start by saying Forest officially and legitimately in this title race.
Yeah, you can't say anything otherwise now. They're right in it. They look, their performances are there, and they just look like a real team.
They look so solid. They don't look fluky at all. Nearly did the double over Liverpool.
Which is crazy considering Liverpool have been the in-form team in the league.
I think they're the only team, or I think only Liverpool and Arsenal have conceded fewer goals than Nottingham. Their defense is just insane.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, all around they're just a solid fucking team. They're so solid.
Yes.
It's crazy.
You don't see that moment of panic when a high press works. Say you've regained possession in the midfield or even higher up. It's like their defensive structures are in place by the time you have the ball.
They're formed right back up again. They're impossible to break down.
I don't remember Nuno's Wolves being that defensively solid. I'm trying to remember how he succeeded at Wolves. I remember him having a great counter-attacking line, very similar to Forest.
Yes, absolutely. The counterattack was always lethal, but he seems to have learned some lessons in his travels around.
Yeah, or maybe Forest just put together a better squad, honestly. We can't forget how much they've spent. We're still thinking of them like a small club, but they've spent with the big boys for the past 2 years now.
It's weird because they've spent a lot of money, but they're not buying, like, they're not competing, like, head-to-head with, like, City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool for, like, the big name signing.
No.
But they're going about it and just, like, those, like, 30 to 50 million pound players that are, like, maybe even a little less, like, just really good squad players.
You got to say, there's no glamorous names coming in. It reeks of them having, I don't know who it is, but it reeks of them having a really competent sporting director, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
they're just finding value all over the place.
If you think about that squad, like, I can't even, other than Chris Wood coming to mind because he's banging goals in, like, who's the star? Like, who are their, like, star? I don't even really know a lot of their players.
Anthony Elanga, formerly of Manchester United, he's kind of emerging as a playmaker for them. Yeah. And, but no.
Like, I don't know. I still don't truly know a lot of their players, like, well.
Same. It's a really, really surprising and just interesting situation there at Forest. Fun to have him there in the top 4 right now, charging us down.
Yeah, I always it's always nice to have a new face in the mix for a title race.
Yeah, when it looks legitimate, absolutely, dude, and they really do. From a Liverpool perspective, the story of this match was really Arne Slot is kind of cementing his credentials as a halftime fixer of problems, a halftime tinkerer.
He really likes to look at what he sees in the first half, and he, gotta say, give him credit. He addresses it well, whatever he's seeing.
I remember before the season kicked off, seeing a Feyenoord fan on Reddit say exactly that. Get used to mediocre first halves, smart adjustments, and good and better second halves. And boy, I would need to find who that Feyenoord fan was, because that is an intelligent person. They called it.
Yeah, honestly, get that guy on the podcast. He knows what he's talking about.
Right?
That's like, I mean, it's obviously frustrating in the first halves like that, but like, you wish it would just be right from the start. But at the same time, he's proven to be so good at fixing it and you're not that bad in the first half to where you're down like 3-0.
No,
like, you're
it's
not
not
out of a game in the first half.
Exactly.
You're just a
it's
little
not
disjointed at times.
Exactly right. Yes, it's just this isn't quite working. But yeah, this week it was Tsimikas and Diogo Jota coming off the bench, and I think probably one of the most dramatic substitute impacts we've ever seen. 22 seconds after they came off the bench, Tsimikas plays a corner to Jota, and they link up for a goal, equalizer.
Amazing stuff. Jota, one of the smaller players in the pitch,
but so good in the
winning
air.
a header dead center of the box like he always does.
That's signature Jota, dude. I don't know how he does it. He's so good at finding space, and he's just good in the air, good at timing his jumps.
He's a great header of the ball. For a small player, he's unbelievable.
Bizarre. Yeah, you would never guess.
And it's just funny because you wouldn't expect Tsimikas to even take that corner coming on the pitch immediately. Like it's kind of rare to give that guy the duty unless he's like a specific corner specialist or something, you know.
Yeah.
So hilarious moment there.
Yeah, it really was. Slot was modest about it. He said, he identified the need for those players, but was like, I didn't see the goal coming that way from across
he's
to
not
Jota.
drawing that up perfectly.
He's like, that was not what I had in mind.
To be fair to you guys, Salah, how many chances did poor Salah have with that keeper robbing him in the second half?
That keeper, what was his name? Sells? Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned him because that keeper deserves a shout. Had a hell of a game. Actually, if you look at the statistics post-match, what felt like a pretty even game, I mean, in the second half, like I said, when Slot made those adjustments, Liverpool we had him under siege.
No, you easily could have won that game in the second half. He did a lot of work to keep Forest level there.
He sure did.
I remember there was like probably a 3-minute moment where Salah had like 3 or 4 unreal chances, and it wasn't like he took them poorly. They were just unbelievable saves.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody Gakpo had a bit of an off day, no big deal there. And Diaz was a little ineffective up front. I think that's fine because he's not really a striker. We're just kind of trying him out there.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually probably a good time to let's transition to talk transfers. I don't think there's anything else super massive to talk about in the league.
We wanted to laugh at Man City a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Let's hit that real quick. Just Brentford 2, Manchester City 2. Manchester City leading 2-0 in about the 87th minute, was it?
So they scored their goal to go up 2-0 in like the 78th minute.
Okay.
But I think they were still holding that lead in like the 87th minute, 88th minute.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Which is really what makes this a notable result because they haven't... A 2-2 draw for them is not that notable the way they've been playing.
Away to Brentford, it's a tough
Brentford,
fixture.
It's a good team. Yeah.
Yeah, no, going to Brentford's not easy. But the collapse.
The collapse of it all. Especially because beautiful goal by Foden from across from De Bruyne. Mm-hmm. I thought, like, watching those goals go in, you would think that would spark them to life, and you might see the old City come back out again. Yeah. But to see them crumble like that again, their
defensive frailty is unbelievable. You don't expect it, but this isn't of in their trail of losses or drop points over the past month or so. A lot of them have been last minute concessions like this.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like poor defensive play. Mm-hmm. I mean, Nathan Ake saved them from losing that game 3-2 with one of the last kicks of the game.
Yeah.
They could have lost that.
They should have lost it. It was a true, complete collapse. Yeah, lucky to come away with a point there. Guardiola being an absolute maniac after the whistle.
Screaming at everybody. Like
that keeper?
In Ortega's face.
I've heard that he was praising Ortega, that he was reassuring him that it wasn't his fault. But if you just look at that video, it looks like he wanted to kill him. He's grabbing him and jerking him around and like gripping his body
and inches from his face,
screaming inches from his face. Yeah, it was pretty intense.
And like I said, I don't think it was Ortega's fault that happened.
No,
but maybe he was saying, he was just letting out his emotions in the wrong way at Ortega. But
damn, he lost his mind.
He is like Pep. Is he going to retire after this? Like
I think he has all but said he is. I mean, he said he's not going to manage a club again.
He seems like he is mentally like the thinnest line holding it together.
As someone who has had some real mental health crises in this past week, just sat in an anxiety paralysis as I watched a literal apocalypse barreling down on me, I still feel good about laughing at Pep's mental health crisis too. I guess I don't have, and I found the limit of my empathy.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, hey, we have to find our joy somewhere, you know.
Right.
And Pep's struggles are just, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
he's a maniac.
That's funny. Yeah, but we know they're gonna splash this month probably to try and fix this situation.
They're about the only team I've seen, like, every time I'm scrolling, like, a new player saying, like, City linked with this player. I keep scrolling, waiting to see Arsenal links, and I keep just seeing City looking after another player.
Right. Same. I'm looking for some Liverpool news. The only news we've had is that a Saudi team made a bid for Darwin Nunez, a £70 million bid that we turned down. There's been debate as to whether or not that was authentic or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dialogue around moving Darwin on seems like it's starting to happen a little bit, at least in like the social spheres. I don't know, behind the scenes. But it is starting to look like Liverpool might be wanting a striker sometime soon.
Interesting.
Arsenal still looking for a wide forward, right? Or are you looking for a number 9?
I mean, I think it depends on who you ask. I think until the injury crisis, we were looking for a wide forward. Now with Jesus out and Havertz's form dipping momentarily, Arsenal fans are certainly screaming for a number 9.
Yeah.
But honestly, Darwin, I saw a few not reputable places saying that, like, linking us to him in the past.
Oh, really?
You guys, and I was like, I don't see that ever happening, but I would give Darwin a chance always. I mean, I think we're both fans of Darwin Nunez.
Yeah, I could see it happening if he runs down his contract, and it becomes a cheap punt. As soon as he becomes a cheap punt, it's almost unmissable because I still believe in him, and he shows flashes of such genius.
He really, truly does.
And when strikers have everything but the finishing, like they're just hitting the post constantly or, just missing. I've seen that click into place. So I'm not ready to give up,
No, I think it would be, I mean, I could see it if you need to move on. Things move fast in football if you need a new striker quickly.
Yeah.
And you have to sell to get one in usually. You have to sell somebody to get somebody in.
Right.
For those kind of big money deals. But it's harsh to give up on him.
Yeah.
Because he does look so potentially lethal. His pace, his power, his finishing is just millimeters off.
And when we say we're launching a counterattack, the first 2 players if I'm picking to be involved in that counterattack are like Salah and Darwin. When I see them together in a counter, they're so good together. When he's operating at a full sprint and doesn't have to think at all, he's deadly, dude.
So deadly. Yeah.
And I'm not biased. Salah has said the same thing. Salah actually called him his favorite player to play with.
Really? That makes sense. If you watch them play together, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, they have some real chemistry. I've said that on the pod before, and I stand by it. They really do. But, yeah, I don't really have transfer news. Because, like I said, we might need a player or two, but we haven't had any real links.
The only one... It's funny because before Arsenal got some good news today, our only positive news so far was the news that we are swooping in for Zubamendi in the summer.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up.
Doesn't
you can laugh
really
at me
help
a little
us
bit.
at this moment, but yeah.
That's still a satisfying one, though, because everybody wants him. Literally everybody. Even if you have to wait 6 months. We've done that with players, too. I can't think of who, but I know we have.
Yeah, I don't mind waiting for a player like that.
No.
It seems like writing's on the wall for Thomas Partey. They're expecting him to probably sign a pre-contract with somebody this window.
Is that true?
Yeah. I think which is a shame, honestly, for me. I like Partey a lot. I don't think he had a great game today, personally. I think he was a little off today. But if the idea is Partey out, Zubamendi in, it's pretty good business.
Yeah. Zubamendi's sick. You can't sleep on that.
He also
when
played
Liverpool
with Moreno in midfield as well for Spain and Sociedad.
Yeah, chemistry bonus.
Yeah, green lines.
You know, I don't know about the ramifications of talking this on the pod, but it's okay. I don't think we're going to get sued. But you know that Reddit Soccer is convinced that Arsenal are cutting Partey loose because of the rape allegations. Do you think there's anything to that?
They aren't going away, that's for sure. And
has there ever been any confirmation that it is him?
I have not seen that anywhere. I've never seen definitive proof or evidence that the player that has been discussed so much is Thomas Partey.
Right.
I mean, obviously all the fans think it is because he gets booed everywhere he goes.
Well, football internet is like certain that it's him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that has gone wrong before too.
It's true. It's true. And also, like, with such serious allegations, it's harsh to throw that on somebody without truly knowing that it's the thing that he did.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do think it's a bit suspicious with how good he still is that Arsenal haven't tried to lock him down for a new deal or at least a 1-year contract.
Sure.
So that is a touch suspicious. But I don't know. I'm curious to see, like, when or if he does leave, what comes out of this. Like, if that ever does come to light, that was what happened.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. No point in speculating about that.
Yeah,
you know?
He's a great player. Fantastic player. I hope to God he didn't do what they think he did, but...
Yeah.
No reason to speculate there.
Exactly, yeah. I probably shouldn't even have brought it up, but...
No, I mean, it's an interesting...
It's just a curious situation, you know?
It is. And it's one of those where you're like, I've been waiting for something to come out on this for, it feels like 2 years now.
No, same. And that's kind of why I brought it up. I didn't bring it up to throw shade on him. I brought it up almost from a place of defense. Like, people have been talking about this like it's fact for so long when no one really knows anything. It's just kind of sucks for him.
Yeah, because, like...
big time.
Yeah, because, I mean, you would think, if it is fact... he wouldn't be playing football right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Things would be different. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Mm-hmm. But it seems like Zubamendi in, Partey out is the thing for the summer for Arsenal.
Yeah. Zubamendi. I'm having flashbacks to preseason when we almost certainly had him in the bag. Me watching his highlight videos and be like, ooh. Oh, he's this kind of player? Oh, it's this guy? Oh, I want him. I think I said on the pod at that time, I haven't wanted a player this bad in a long, long time.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah. Now I get to see him at Arsenal. You motherfucker, you got Calafiore too. I said the same thing about him during he was my player from the Euros I wanted, dude. You got both of them. I think, am I Arsenal's football director? Did I not realize?
Right? Follow people out and we're just scooping them up. Mikhail's listening to the pod.
Incredible. Mikhail, we love you. Funny stuff.
Transfer window's interesting right now. I saw Chelsea were thinking about letting Nkunku go for around $60 million. I'm like, if I were Arsenal, I'd take a punt on Nkunku all day.
Same.
I still think he's a victim of circumstance there at Chelsea.
I was just gonna say, Chelsea have gotten better. They're putting it together, but it's still incredibly easy to manage some talent getting lost in the cracks over there. Yeah,
there's still so much. Their squad depth is they're still sorting that mess out. And Nkunku had some injury problems early. Mm-hmm. I still think he's a lot better player than what we've seen so far.
Oh, totally. If I want to rewind once again to last summer highlight videos I was obsessed with when I was scouting Dominic Soboslai for Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
It was Nkunku getting on the end of all of Sobo's playmaking abilities, and Nkunku was just tucking those goals away like lethal. So I was actually terrified when Chelsea signed him.
I mean, it seems we have a special relationship with Chelsea. We seem to sign players from Chelsea all the time. But Nkunku is one that I would definitely not mind signing.
Yeah, I think again worth a punt. Yeah, I was going to say at 60 mil, but you know what? 60 mil for an A-list striker these days is a punt. That's not even a huge investment these days.
Sadly, that's the market these days. Yeah, like 60 mil it's a player. That's take a punt on somebody. That was the 25 to 30 mil signing.
I was just going to say, did you see this very throwback signing Aston Villa made? They signed a versatile forward from Borussia Dortmund for 25 million pounds, I think.
Yeah, Malen,
like, wow.
right?
Yeah. I was like, that just screams like 2007, 2008 signing, you know?
It does feel that way. Kind of a bit part player at Dortmund, but pretty decent player. But throwing like a smaller bid like that out.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Just 25 to 30 million for a reputable forward is unheard of these days.
Yeah, it could be an absolute steal. I mean, we played them next, so
I mean, that's what we paid.
Maybe he'll make his debut.
Interesting.
I actually think, I'm not positive, I should have looked this up before, but I think he may have been an Arsenal Academy kid at one point.
Oh yeah?
I saw some kind of Instagram post linking, mentioning all these different players around Europe, strikers that were ex-Arsenal Academy people. And he was on there, and I don't remember him from our academy at all, but...
Right on.
That's an interesting one.
Huh.
Can he come back to haunt us?
Oh, Alex, I think we're just about ready to wrap this up. Do you have anything else you want to key in on? Looking ahead, folks, my schedule obviously has been a little unpredictable, leading to unpredictable releases. I will have one day off this weekend. I actually don't know which it's going to be yet, Alex, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Let me know, because I work Saturdays, but we could always record after I get out of work on Saturday.
I was going to say, are you down to work one of those 2 days, whichever it is we need to do?
Yeah, either one's fine with me.
Okay. And again, on Sunday, if you want to record at home, dude, that's total. It makes me feel better, honestly, when we have to record at odd hours, knowing that you don't have to get up and go somewhere to do it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind going out to the warehouse normally.
Okay.
Last weekend would have been rough. I actually forgot it was even Sunday just because I worked Fridays. Like I said, we're playing catch up on Friday and Saturday.
That's right.
I would normally am off on Fridays and worked a full day Friday and then had like a normal roasting day Saturday. So my mind was completely thrown off this week anyway.
Right on.
But hopefully there's no weird audio or anything in this place.
I'm sure it'll be okay. Maybe it'll probably be maybe a little echoey, but it won't be bad.
There's actually quite a bit of shit in this room, so maybe I will
there is?
down on the echo.
Oh, okay, good.
I got some like a little bookcase over here. Cat.
You got Twigs and Gravy.
Twigs and Gravy snuggled up in the cat tree over there.
Amazing, those fucking boys. I miss those. I was talking to Mom, and she was saying how much her and Chip miss them, just having them at the house too.
I know.
They love them. Those are some good cats.
I was really worried about Gravy because Twigs is such a loner.
Yeah.
And Gravy's a social boy, so I knew he's got to be missing having the other cats to play with.
Sure.
Because Twigs is such a goofball loner.
Twigs is a little introvert boy, dude. He's a sweetie pie, sweet baby angel.
He is. He's more my type.
Yeah.
We're both the awkward. He sits on top of my computer as I play video games.
That's the best. Mr. Twigs, what awesome. A cat, dude. Cat legend, man. I love that cat.
He's a cat legend. Except for he's a little shit. He's been very vocal lately, waking me up, little son of a bitch. Yeah, he's yelling a lot these days.
Funny stuff.
He's lucky he's so adorable and funny.
Right. All right, folks. This episode is going to hit the airwaves on Thursday, it looks like. And I think we'll be back on Monday with episode 71 to talk some fun fixtures of the weekend. Arsenal Villa, we've got Everton Tottenham, and we've got Manchester United versus Brighton.
Huge.
And City go away to the very difficult Tractor Boys of Ipswich.
I was going to
Town.
say, I heard City Ipswich after our game today getting talked about, and I was like, ooh, doesn't get any easier for Man City.
Yeah, a lot of interesting fixtures. So we'll come back and have a kind of back to normal episode on Monday, I think, for that.
Yeah.
Cool. Sound good?
Hopefully things get back to normal a little bit out there in LA.
Today feels pretty normal to be honest. Yeah. My cafe, which was right on the edge of the evac zone. The evac has receded a little bit, so we're kind of in a safe zone now. The neighborhood has been noticeably coming back day by day. Today was kind of busy, honestly.
Yeah, we talked about you might be getting out of work early today, but you had to work your full day.
Sure did.
Which is,
all right.
A good thing overall.
Yeah, legit. All right, folks. That is episode 70 of Soccer Situations. Thank you so much for listening. Alex, thank you for staying late with me today. You're on Pacific time today.
Yeah, we're on Pacific time, Todd.
All right. Well, have a good night. Hug the cats for me, and we'll talk this weekend.
Sounds good.
Thanks, y'all, and thank you. And that's that.
Soccer situation.